6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardena, assisted by Sanjay and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Aswasuma October payments are to be credited to beneficiary accounts from tomorrow. A landslide early warning message has been issued by the NBRO for several districts of the island. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that a forensic audit is required on Sri Lanka cricket. Vouchers are provided to over 740,000 students for purchasing shoes. The University of Kelaniya is closed until further notice. 6 remarkable artifacts received from the Netherlands will be displayed at the Colombo National Museum from tomorrow onwards. Foreign news: Israel orders evacuations as onslaught on Gaza widens. A new National Sports Council is appointed. The State Minister of Finance Shahan Semasinghe said Aswasuma payments for the month of October has been transferred to banks and will be credited to the beneficiary accounts from tomorrow onwards. Taking to X to announce this, State Minister Semasinghe mentioned that accordingly, the payments relevant to over 1.4 million families, amounting to 8,775 million, were transferred to banks from the Treasury. In addition, State Minister expressed that once the review of appeals and objections are completed, the eligible individuals will receive relevant benefits with effect from July. A landslide early warning message has been issued by the NBRO for several districts of the island. Accordingly, a Level 3 evacuation notice has been issued to Pasbage Korale in the Kandy district. Level 2 amber alerts have been issued to Nellore in the Galle district, Walallavita in the Kaltara district and Alapatha in the Ratnapura district. Level 1 watch alerts have been issued to Nagoda in the Galle district, Bulat Sinhala and Matugama in the Kalutara district and Udapalata in the Kandy district. Level 1 alerts are applicable for Bulat Kopitiya, Aranayaka and Ruwanwella in the Galle district, in the K-Galle district, Pitabhadra and Kotapula in the Matara district and Nambakamuwa in the Nuwara district. Kodakawela, Kolonna, Valigapola, Ahaliyagoda, Imbulpe, Balangoda, Ratnapura, Kalawana, Kuruwita and Opanayaka in the Ratnapura district are also under Level 1 watch alerts. Today is the 11th day of the debate of committee stage of the Appropriation Bill 2024. The expenditure votes of the Ministry of Women's, Child Affairs and Social Empowerment and Sports and Youth Affairs were taken into debate today. State Minister Anupa Pascal said that the service constitution prepared for the Samurdhi development officers will be implemented from next February onwards. Action will be taken to arrange contributory pension for the senior citizens in the future. The family members of the Samurdhi beneficiaries will be guided to acquire language skills so that they can apply for job opportunities abroad and work in the field of tourism. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that a forensic audit is required on Sri Lanka cricket. He further said that everyone should join hands to uplift the status of cricket in the island without any political propaganda. MP Thalata Athukorala stressed that the government should take action to protect the rights of women. Also, she pointed out the significance of allocating a separate place to take care of the children beyond 5 years of age in the institutions. State Minister Shantha Bandara highlighted that action should be taken to fill the vacancies for the post of sports teachers prevailing in the schools. That will result in the upliftment of the sports field at the school level. Meanwhile, State Minister Geetha Kumarasinghe joined the debate saying that an awareness program to prevent child abuse is underway throughout the country. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The new school term for the year 2024 will commence on the 19th of February. Minister Susil Premajayantha said that uniforms, textbooks and shoes required for the students will be provided prior to this. The government pays great attention to the field of education despite the economic difficulties faced. The ministry has taken action to provide vouchers to purchase shoes to over 740,000 students, including the clergy as well. Each voucher costs 3,000 rupees. 2.2 billion rupees have been allocated for that. Distributions of these vouchers commenced today. The University of Kelaniya, with the exception of the Faculty of Medicine, is temporarily closed until further notice. The closure is in response to the abduction and assault of 2 security guards by a group of students. Consequently, all university hostels, except those affiliated with the medical faculty, will be closed. The students have been directed to vacate their respective hostels by 8 a.m. tomorrow. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala.
In the main news story this evening, 6 remarkable artifacts long ensconced in the renowned Rijksmuseum collection in the Netherlands have been returned to Sri Lanka after over 2 centuries. These precious items, including golden and silver kastane, a golden knife, 2 wall guns and Leuke de Save's cannon, were originally acquired as war booty by the Dutch East India Company in 1765 during the siege of the Palace of Kandy. Accordingly, they will be displayed for the public in the special exhibition gallery at the Colombo National Museum from tomorrow onwards. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala.
In Watchlight this evening, Expressway Traffic Police Division has informed the motorists using the expressways to maintain 50-meter distance between the vehicles while driving, owing to the adverse weather conditions prevailing across the country. The Road Development Authority has taken steps to display the warnings on electric display boards. Meanwhile, the police also notified drivers to keep the front and rear lights until they reach their destinations due to the low light conditions. And that came to you in Watchlight. Moving on to world news. In the headlines, Israel orders evacuations as onslaught on Gaza widens. 11 hikers are killed as volcano erupts in Indonesia. The Netherlands is accused of war crimes, complicity for Israeli militant supplies. Israel has ordered Palestinians to evacuate several more areas as it widens its bombardment of Gaza Strip, killing hundreds. The Israeli militants declared today via social media site X that it was defining safe areas for Gaza civilians to minimize harm to them. However, hundreds more Palestinians have been killed since the onslaught resumed on Friday, and it is unclear where civilians might seek safety. Israel published a map on Friday dividing Gaza into evacuation zones and asking people to follow their announcements for their safety. However, the maps, which include nearly 2,500 grids, have confused many, while unreliable internet and electricity make keeping updated a challenge. 11 hikers have been found dead near the crater of Indonesia's Merapi volcano after it erupted over the weekend. 3 people were rescued today. The search for 12 other missing have been suspended due to a small eruption. These were 75 hikers in the area at the time of the eruption, but most were safely evacuated. And Mount Merapi, one of Indonesia's 127 active volcanoes, spewed ash as high as 3 kilometers into air yesterday. Authorities have imposed the second highest alert level and prohibited residents from going within 3 kilometers of the crater. A Dutch court is set to hear a case accusing the state of complicity in war crimes in Gaza due to its supply of components for Israeli bombers. Launched by human rights organizations against the Netherlands, the case, which opened today, says that the Dutch state is complicit in the alleged war crimes due to the export of F-35 fighter jet parts. The Dutch branches of Amnesty International and Oxfam argue that the Netherlands is contributing to wide-scale and serious violations of the humanitarian law by Israel and Gaza by allowing shipments of reserve parts for Israeli fighter jets while the war continues. Back to the headlines of the world news. Israel orders evacuations as onslaught on Gaza widens. 11 hikers are killed as volcano erupts in Indonesia. And the Netherlands is accused of war crimes complicity for Israeli military supplies. And that ends world news. In development news, the High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagle, said India will be implementing a hybrid renewable energy system project on 3 islands off Jaffna, namely Nainathiu, Analathiu and Delft. These were disclosed during a part of a 3-day visit to the northern province. India has committed to support this project with grants to address the energy needs of the inhabitants of these islands. Interacting with representatives of the cooperative at Pasayur in Jaffna Peninsula, the High Commissioner stressed that India is striving to bring benefits of scientific research and expertise for commercially sustainable development of fisheries in Sri Lanka, including in the northern province. And that was development news. In sports, Minister of Sports, Harin Fernando, has appointed a 15-member National Sports Council, replacing its former chairman, Arjuna Rantunga, with Dr. Maya Gunasekara. Meanwhile, the Sports Minister has also appointed the National Sports Selection Committee. The committee is headed by General Shavendra Silva. Arjun Rishaya Fernando, Dr. Maya Gunasekara, Suresh Subramaniam, Nalinda Sampath Ilankon are the other members of the committee. And that was sports news.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapu veena habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka's fastest growing digital payment brand HelaPay announced that it has crossed 1 billion rupee in total transactions through its innovative payment method. This landmark milestone underscores HelaPay's rapid ascent in the local financial technology sector, having accomplished this feat in just 2 years since its launch in 2021. HelaPay has been committed to revolutionizing the way financial transactions are conducted in Sri Lanka, offering users a seamless and innovative payment experience. And that was business news.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapu veena habe karanna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news.
Workers' remittances from January to the end of October were $4,862 million, and this was at $2,929 million during the corresponding period in 2022. Meanwhile, based on provincial data, total departures of foreign employment in October 2023 and from January to October 2023 amounted to 25,330 and 249,429 respectively, in comparison to the total departures of 311,056 recorded in 2022. Earnings from tourism from January to October 2023 amounted to $1,593 million compared to $928 million in the corresponding period in 2022. And that was economic news. Moving on to the weather report, the cyclonic storm Marjoram over southwest Bay of Bengal has become a severe cyclonic storm and was about 440 kilometers northeast of Jaffna as at 11:30 a.m. today. The system is expected to intensify further and move northwards away from Sri Lanka and across South Andhra Pradesh coast around tomorrow. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, central Sabaragama, southern, northern and northwestern provinces. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely at some places. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragama, central and southern provinces. Several spells of showers can be expected in the northwestern and northern provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere after 1 p.m. And that was the weather report. Prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. Swasuma October payments are to be credited to beneficiary accounts from tomorrow. A landslide early morning message has been issued by the NBRO for several districts in the island. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says that a forensic audit is required on Sri Lanka cricket. Vouchers are provided to over 740,000 students for purchasing shoes. The University of Caledonia is closed until further notice. 6 remarkable artifacts received from the Netherlands will be displayed at the Colombo National Museum from tomorrow onwards. Foreign news, Israel orders evacuations as onslaught on Gaza widens. In sports, a new National Sports Council is appointed. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, handing over the microphone back to Marila and out on the other side. Over to you, Marila.
Thank you, Geethanjali. That was Geethanjali Ramanayaka bringing you the main news broadcast right here from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Wishing you nothing but the best and have a safe journey back home. The time was on to, well, it is exactly 30 minutes past 6. This is Radio Sri Lanka.